When we talk about psychic capture, it means personalities. Personalities that belong to our block of conscience, if I can say it, dissociated personality. But I'll tell you the concept of psychic capture. And before that, I want to tell you that this book is the book that talks says a lot about psychic personalities, multiple personalities, sub-personalities, conflicts, conscientious conflict. It is not yet translated, but it is on the way. And it brings the laws of personality by J.S. Godinho. And a couple of things we should know. If we know, we could help ourselves. And by not knowing, we can die with the same problem that we brought. And again, you keep with the same thing when you could just learn a little and do something, right? So they come all on this book with many, many wonderful examples and all about personalities and concepts and the danger of them to be dissociated and so many things. Now, let's talk a little bit about the block of ego we all have. We incarnate people have. So there are two groups of, I would not say two groups, I would say associated psychic personality that form the ego block of human beings. We all have that block of personalities, multiple personality, those that come from another lifetime, to to give us support during an incarnation. That's why we have many experiences that we don't believe we have, but actually they belong to one of the personalities we have. However, those personalities influence us. They manifest influencing us. Now, there are two groups we need to consider, especially when it comes to treatment. One group is related to the multiple personalities, dissociated, which means they turned away from the ego block. They act against the physical personality, and they know that. That's the danger of that. They don't accept the physical personality. It can happen to any one of us. They simply don't accept you, the way you have your life. And they know. Now, the other group of personalities that belong to the block of the ego is the associated personality. However, they produce the psychic dynamics of the physical personality. They are associated to us, but they act as if they have their own lives. So they don't understand that you have your life and they will help you according to your needs. No, they understand they have their lives and they need to use your brain to do what they want to do. And that's why many times people act as somebody else. Actually, they act according to what they have inside. Now, let's see the ego. Ego is a set of psychological expressions that the physical personality or the person manifests in a conscious or unconscious way. Let's think about ego that way. Because when we talk about multiple personality that belong to the block of the ego, it means our unconscious. They are in there, but they are influencing us. Even though we don't understand that, or sometimes we do something believing it was done by ourselves, by the physical personality, and it is not. Now, let's talk a little bit about psychic capture. Psychic capture is actually a resource to help on the treatment of psychic personalities. But it can be used to do a kind of treatment also. We talk about psychic capture. It is a procedure great to be used in the professional offices, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, together with the sensitive. Capturing exactly the personalities from the patient and helping them, clarifying what's going on. And let's see what Godinho says about that, because this is his work. He says, it is done by a therapist and a sensitive, aiming to access, clarify, and treat obscure or shadowy aspect of the patient personalities. In other words, access, clarify, and help and treat the personalities of the patient. Those personalities that are treated on psychic capture, they are resistant to the process of evolution. They are resistant to the life projects of the person, of the patient. Maybe because they are attached to old habits, behavior that have been crystallized, and they don't want to change. So by doing that, they will be opened and clarified and understand that they have to change, because their behavior is not helping themselves in the present lifetime. They need to do something. When the personality lived on that time, 100, 200 years ago or so, the world was different, the values of society were different, and many things were different. The lifestyle, the fashion, and everything. Now, we are living in another time, and different things, faster, with things that we did not have that time. So the personality of that time, who belonged to that patient and is acting against the process of evolution or against the projects of life that the patient have in store to do, they must understand that they are living in another situation. So what make them understand that is when they are brought to the present of their own lives, their own conscience. When they come to the present, then they are shocked, because they see right away that things are not the same. Now, you don't necessarily need a medium, unless you have a medium who does that. But sensitive is enough, because the sensitive kept from humans. Like the sensitive is able to say something just by a look, the way the person looks, the way the person acts, the way the person moves their hands or the eyes. A sensitive can say something, can read through the mind. That's the best one. Now, the medium, sometimes they can see spirits, they can hear spirits, they can help spirits in a very wonderful way. But when it comes to people, they are not that smart, I would say it, or they don't have that facility. And the sensitive have that facility for people, but when it comes to spirits, they are not very wise on that. They can sense some things, but not much, or sometimes nothing. Every medium is a sensitive, but not every sensitive is a medium. Median, actually, we are all. Median is a faculty we have. We all have that ability to be median, but not everyone has the mediumship evolved enough to deal with spirits, because being a median is to be able to communicate between the two worlds, one and the other. When we work with apometry, and the patient can act on both ways because of the technique, but it is something else. So that psychic capture, and it helps, especially it helps when the patient is like blocked to see the images of their own past lifetimes, or are afraid because memories sometimes are not great and they don't want to touch that because they are afraid of having it happening again. So, and when you work with a sensitive, the patient is right here consciously, and the sensitive is here, and we talk. We get in a synchrony between the patient and the sensitive, and the therapist goes back and forth, getting all of them that needed to do, and to be treated or to be conscious, in order to make the patient understand it better, because the patient start knowing a little bit better. This behavior is not great. I should do something different to make myself better, and so forth. So you need to analyze. The therapist needs to analyze and make the patient understand that analysis. You are acting this way because this, and that. You are not a victim. You should let it go. This kind of things, that psychic capture. It is a wonderful technique. It is such a wonderful technique because you understand yourself. Things that you don't want to admit that you have, or you are able to, or you hide for some reason. You don't want to touch for some reason. Like, you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror because you don't want to see what you don't want to see. But through somebody else who is getting from you and from your personalities, which means from other lifetimes, and behavior, you are able to understand it better. This is about a family. Who asked for help? The mother. The mother asked for help. Why? She said she complained about her old daughter, and her family was totally devastated. There was always animosity between daughter and mother. And on the time of separation, the daughter decided to be with the father. She did not want to be with the mother and continued with the matters. And on the other hand, the youngest daughter was dominated by the oldest daughter. And the mother was living alone. And those bunch of things and problems, and each one living in a different way with anger, resentment, and everything else. But the mother believed she was the victim. I am the mother, I do everything, so I am not the problem. I came here to help my daughter because my daughter accused me always. Now, let's clarify and see what happened. You know that there are two kinds of relatives or family members of the same household, of the same family. There are two kinds of families in that sense. One is when the family are enemies. Enemies from like unfinished business. And they are together as an opportunity to set the animosity between them and love each other. Maybe not that love, that great love, but respect, helping one another is also love. And when a family is made with members that are enemies, it's not easy. They are enemies. And if they are not easy to let go, the problem continues. Because actually, when they are together, because the law of cause and effect put them together as an opportunity. When it happens, it doesn't necessarily mean that the nature expects everyone to be in great love. No. We come together, but we have a chance to set things out. It is only a chance we are having. But we have free will anyway, and postpone problems. Now, the other way of family is when the members of the family are connected through the ties of love. They love each other. It is such a different thing. But in general, families are a group of enemies. That's in general. Especially now that we are all having chances to set our unfinished business. So basically, that's what we have most of the time. Now, let's come back to that family. That family definitely was a family of enemies. So let's talk about the psychic capture that was done. Actually, it is very clear if you watch the videos. The father doesn't live with the mother. The mother went there for the daughter, but the daughter is not present. She went alone. The daughter would never come anyway. Now, let's see. First problem. It comes another lifetime of the mother. She did not want to talk about love because the sensitive was capturing the personalities and working one and the other, like unfolding and unfolding and cleansing, unfolding and cleansing, analyzing. She believed she was a victim. She was a great one, very good one, and nobody loved her and nobody helped her. That's what she believed in. And she was the victim. Let's talk in this incarnation, about this incarnation. She was born on the same group with the father today and daughter today, and the others, the other daughter today, the relatives. So on that lifetime, they were together. But she did not want to be with them. So she studied, worked, and decided to go away on the world, to find a way to be better than the others because she could not stand the others of the same family. The husband now was not her husband at that time. They were in the same family. And she went out, she went to live in another country, but things were not that easy. But she did not want to admit, and she did not want to come back to this family because she said clearly that she would come back in a much better way and rich and with better things. But as things did not go that way, and she could not accomplish what she was looking for, despite the fact that she said she was very good to everyone and people did not help her, she died in there in a very bad situation. So she was mad. The personality, when came, was captured from her block of ego. She was mad, saying that I had everything to fulfill because I was very good ones and no one helped me. So was the victim. But then let's see why she was victim. She was making herself a victim. Let's see what happened before. Now, and he started bringing the past. Let's see another incarnation. In another incarnation, she was a sister of her daughter today. She was her sister. And the husband today was their father's. And the mother today was the first daughter, and the daughter today was the second, which was her sister. And she was very jealous. The personality of herself was very jealous, saying that the father loved the second daughter more than loved her, and was blaming her sister for getting the attention of the father when the attention of the father should be hers. So she was jealous. She did not care about the sister. And she did as much as she could to harm the sister's life because she hated her. And let's see another lifetime. In another lifetime, the personality of the mother was very mad again. They know each other. And she accused the other girl that is her daughter today. She accused her of having seduced her boyfriend, which means the husband today and father of the daughter today. So that on that lifetime, she was a girlfriend, like a fiancée of that guy. And the other one seduced him, she did, and went to bed with him and made him have eyes for her and not for the other that today is the mother. And the personality was full of hate and feeling herself one more time victim. She took him from me. No, first of all, nobody takes anyone from anybody for many reasons. You don't take the boyfriend of somebody else if the boyfriend doesn't want to. So if you take the boyfriend of the other one that you know, it's because that boyfriend wanted you in the first place. So there was no way to be victim because we are talking about will and free will. So she had to understand that the guy did not belong to her, but she was mad at the other. And all that was coming with analysis, with help, with clarification, and bringing all the obscure points to clarify. Now, not only that, she took the boyfriend, she married him, and had a daughter with him. The daughter today is the second daughter. In another lifetime, the sister today, the little sister today was her daughter. The one that she dominates, because the mother today accused her daughter of dominating the little daughter. You see, in another lifetime, that little daughter was the daughter of the one that today is her daughter, and that took her boyfriend that today is her husband. In other words, the husband today of this family that is father of the daughter, was actually the husband and lover of the daughter. The daughter was one of the women of the father. They were together, but there is a triangle, loving triangle. The mother and the daughter were fighting for the same guy, and the guy chose the one that today is the daughter. So the hate was big because she accused herself, her daughter, of having taken her boyfriend and married him and having a child with him, and she was alone. Okay, he made her understand, you were alone, you were alone. Why didn't you look for somebody else? I did not want somebody else. But he decided to be with her. Why haven't you understand that? Why haven't understood that? Why haven't you worked on the way to let him go? No, I loved him, I wanted him. So you see the behavior of the mother today, of the personalities that are influencing the mother so that the mother believes is a victim when she's not a victim. Now, let's go on. In another lifetime, because he was taken through the sensitive girl, he was taken one by one and getting like a little cord. Let's take this, let's take that, because that line of personalities were conflictual and together. Father today, mother today, daughter and second daughter were since a long time coming together without resolving the unfinished business. For pride, for many other reasons, hate, and many other things. Now let's see another lifetime. In another lifetime, mother today and daughter and second daughter were not related, blood related. But the mother accused that lady, which is the daughter, of being interfering in her ways of having money. She did not want to explain much, but it was money business problems, and she interfered. They interfered in my way of getting my money. And the husband at that time was some way, somehow also involved. Now, let's see what happened. As they were in the middle of her way of getting money, what did the mother do that time? The daughter, the young daughter today, she used the young daughter today on that time without telling her what she was planning to do. What did she do? She made a note and asked for that girl, which is the young daughter today, asked her to bring that note in an envelope, and closed envelope, and a sealed envelope, to bring that to a person of a pharmacy, the kind of old pharmacy where the person who runs the pharmacy manipulates the medicine. She told her that it was some medicine that she needed, but actually the note was asking him, because she knew him very well, they were friends, it was to asking him to prepare something to kill somebody. The girl went there, gave him the envelope. He prepared the poisoning thing, substance, gave her back. She did not know, she had no clue of what it was. She believed it was medicine that she asked, and gave her the medicine. And she gave that medicine to the other girl to kill her. So she killed her daughter that time, her daughter today, that time, and used the youngest daughter of today that time without telling her the truth. And I was free to do whatever she wanted to do, because she said they were interfering in my way, so I had to put them away so that I could resolve my own thing my way. So, how come she is a victim today with all that? So, in other words, let's bring the matter, let's clarify what is in there, let's analyze and clarify the obscure points so that one can help the other. Because at the end, what comes is the forgiveness between all of them. But until you put everything out, it will be hard to have that. Now, each time that passed by, the mother was understanding, because the therapist was clarifying. You see, why now your daughter dominates the youngest daughter? Because unconsciously, she believes through the personality that lived that time, whose personality you killed, she believed that she was protecting her own daughter from another lifetime. Because in a lifetime, she was the mother of the youngest sister. The older sister was the mother of the youngest sister. And the father was her father today. So, if she was, by being in resonance with the older personality, the daughter was reacting as if were having the life of that personality. Now, this girl is my daughter, so I want to protect, because this woman killed me using my daughter. This woman is dangerous. Unconsciously, the daughter was thinking, this woman is dangerous. This woman is evil. And the husband was like between the two of them and between all that fire, and could not do much, because if he got on the one side, it was not great. One would be mad. And if he got on the other side, the other one would be mad. So he was without action. When the daughter said, I want to be with my father, and said, I will not be with you, I don't want to be with you, the father did not say one word. He was full of the problem between them, and he married somebody else that had nothing to do with them. Now, let's see another lifetime. In another lifetime, the mother today was the mother of the daughter today, the daughter that she complains about, the oldest daughter. But she was very poor, and she got pregnant, did not know how to handle the situation, but at least she did not abort the little child. What did she do? She had the little child and brought her little child without her will, because at that time the mother of that child was suffering, and gave her own child to somebody else raise it, because she would not be able. But she did that with sorrows. However, the daughter that was given, that today is her daughter again, she did not understand that. As a spirit, she knew her mother was giving her away. And when you go to another lifetime, you know everything. When something bothers you, you go there and you are able to find that out. So she found that her daughter abandoned her. That's what she had in mind. So that time, what happens? When you are doing psychic capture with a patient, what do? The therapist will bring the personality and the physical, a copy of a conscientious copy of the physical personality in. And the sensitive can see one, can see the other, can see the other. And we can do it in order to bring the forgiveness between them and make them understand. Because one says one thing, the other says something else, so they bring them together in order to make them understand, both of them understand. So that's why this is great, because once everyone understands everything, the animosity has a tendency to diminish or to vanish. It depends. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it is done right away. Now, so after that, he had a lot to tell the patient. She should let go, because the husband and the daughter were together. They were men and women of another lifetime. They were lovers of another lifetime. And the mother was considered to be the evil one for this, and this action that she on herself did, even though as the mother that abandoned the daughter, it was not because she wanted or made that on purpose. No, but it was an abandonment. For the child, it is. And the child, by coming here, the personality of the daughter at that time, to understand, it helped. So at the end, he asks the physical personality to go there in front of father and daughter and the other daughter and ask them forgiveness, because they are together. It was clear that they are together, and the mother is something else, somebody else from outside. So she went there, but she described perfectly through the medium that they did not care much about what she said and asked them forgiveness. But there is something great when you do psychic therapy in that sense. Once, right now, on the circumstance of the earth right now, if you have something, if you have a unfinished business with somebody and you want to set that, you want to forgive, you want to ask forgiveness, you have all the way to do, even if the other part doesn't want to. If one wants, the nature does the rest. So that will be the problem between the other part. It will be between the people or the person and the nature. You will be released. The energetic cords that connect you and your enemies, when you want sincerely, you want consciously to ask forgiveness and to forgive, you will be released. The others will be, the problem will be between the others and the nature. So she did her part. They did not care much, but then she went there again, and that's something great that you can do with psychic capture. You are the therapist. That's why the therapist needs to know about a couple of things, including the spiritual doctrine. The way you deal with things, you deal with the personality, you bring that back and forth. You need to be a therapist some way, somehow. Psychologist, psychiatrist, or a therapist, a spirit therapist, or someone that study and know what is doing. So one great thing to do when you do psychic capture is that you go to the other part that don't want to release the matter and bring them to their past. It is very fast. And make them know that they are not victims. Make them know the stupid things they did. It is very fast. They know right away very clearly. Then they think a little bit different. From deep inside. It doesn't matter if the patient wants to do something to make it better. It doesn't matter if the other side does the same, because it is deep inside the soul, like a trauma that it needs to be worked out. It needs to be touched and resolved and understand. But you carry with you this inconformism. You are not comforted with that. It is a kind of self-resentment, something that it was not resolved. If everyone involved in this case doesn't come, and if it doesn't come to the surface of the conscience, all the mirrors, all the reasons, all those who are involved, it will not resolve. Each one differently believes that was right and the other was wrong. So we must bring everything and make that very clear.
Chama essa que está na condição de sua filha, que quero conversar com ela. Ela pode vir aqui? Você fica de lado e fica escutando a conversa que eu vou ter com ela, tá?
Não estou gostando disso, não.
O que você não está gostando?
Ela aqui por perto, assim.
Chama? Como é que é o nome da filha?
Ania.
Ania. Podemos conversar?
Você não vai levar nada.
É, por quê?
Ela tem a opinião dela, eu tenho a minha. Ela quis as coisas delas, eu quis as minhas, são diferentes. Pronto.
Pelo que está sendo mostrado aqui, as duas são teimosas, rebeldes, duronas. Ninguém cede.
Once he did that, they were much better. And the problem was solved in those personalities who were not able to get rid of the matter right away. They would be brought to an astral institution to receive help and then come back. You have no idea how the energy of the earth right now is helpful to those who want to understand that and who are open-minded to receive that. The energy of the world now is great. Couldn't be better. Fast, great, and just. Nothing is hidden, because when you go on that, everything comes clearly, crystal clear. And some patients can see it right away. Others are afraid to see, or each one is a different story. But when you go to psychic therapy, if you have a chance to, it is great. And I really believe that pretty much soon, the therapists, holistic therapists, psychological offices, psychiatrist offices, and all the others will have sensitive people working as professionals, just to do those things that the patient is not able to do for fear or for others problems that are blocking them from doing so. And the person cries, the person sees what needs to be changed, because if the problem is with an old habit, you need to change. What did the lady did not understand in the beginning, that she did not love her daughter. Because she said, I love my daughter. She is the one who complains that I don't love her. But the therapist, Godinho, made her understand that she did not love her daughter. They were enemies. They were fighting for the same man. The mother had the husband, and the daughter was a woman of the same husband in the past, and was in resonance with that personality, acting as that personality. So the mother understood well that she was not a victim. In the beginning, she said, no, I had nothing to do with him anymore. I released him. No, she did not, because you think you released him, but you are vibrating. You are vibrating unconsciously to have him, and vibrating against your daughter, because it is a competition. If you do not accept that as a reality that is in your life, you cannot help yourself. So she understood, she cried, and she understood that she had to let go. Let them live their lives. The oldest daughter will continue dominating your youngest daughter, because both want. The youngest daughter wanted that because she was afraid of you, and the oldest daughter wanted that because she was afraid of you. So you are the one who should let go and take care of your life and see other ways in this lifetime. With the forgiveness, things tend to be better, but do not expect that it will be great 24 hours. Sometimes it takes time for the animosity to be cleansed. It depends on each one of us, but not always it goes that fast, because we are human beings in evolution. There are many things we carry, and we have to go according to our own pace. Because if you are in the same household or the same family, big family with different members, different minds, different concepts, different problems that come from before, you cannot make each one of them think the way you want. It doesn't go that way. And sometimes it takes a lifetime, and in another lifetime, you may be ready to be together again and hold your hands and say, yes, now I can live better, now I can breathe peacefully by being close to you. I can close my eyes and have my sleep in peace by being close to you. So it takes sometimes a long time. Even though right now we have everything very fast, but our old habits, our old behavior sometimes are too crystallized that it needs time to be set in another way. Godinho says one thing that I appreciate very much in many of the books, and this book also. He says that we all need past life therapists, because when you do that, you have so many things of your other lives set that what you need is to not exactly erase, but resignify. When you go to other lifetimes and you see things in a different way, or analyze things and resignify things, each time you do that, you are released from something. Each time. And we all have matters. He says we need to do that, because that's the time of knowing thyself and see what's wrong with your own lives, your own being, and clean it and help yourself. The truth that you know about yourself will help you get your life back. But that's the truth you need to know in order to resignify it. Sometimes the diagnosis of somebody, as he says, has everything to do with depression, with the bipolar disorder, or something else, because the symptoms that the person feels met the symptoms of that problem in many ways. So the diagnosis come with that. But when you go to a past life therapy or to a spirit group to do the obsession or something else on that way, you see that it was not exactly that diagnosis had nothing to do with who you really have, the things you really are under. They have to do with many other things. You don't have that matter. They say you are not bipolar. It has nothing to do with that. You have something else. You have self-obsession. Your personality is against yourself. You have a spiritual obsession. Enemies from the past pursuing you. You have some lover of your old lifetime that is in the spiritual world, but vibrates or is pulsing always, thinking of you, and you think of him unconsciously, and that's the matter. So the important thing is that we have a chance to learn and to do something. If you have a chance to do past life therapies, you do. And don't forget the words of Emmanuel. You cannot go back to the past and erase what has happened. You cannot do that. But yet, you can restart. You can start right now. You can decide to go over all that, restart doing great things, and make a good ending. The example I'll take from him today on the search of psychic capture, it is based on a relationship aiming change of attitudes from both sides, husband and wife, where one helps the other. So this couple, they have been living together after they're married. They have been living together for more than 30 years, but living as cold friends and sleeping in different bedrooms and never separated. The wife is the one who asked for help. And during the treatment, the husband followed her. In the beginning, he was against it, but then they together were part of the treatment. And what is her complaints? When she went with a lot of complaints. And after being a psychologist and a spirit animistic therapist, because that's her profession, she thought that she was having problem but could not help herself. You know, this is the problem of many therapists. And why not to say psychologists and psychiatrists? They believe, most of them at least, believe that just by being a therapist, even though dealing with a spirit and mystic treatment, many of them believe they have nothing. They are okay, intelligent, smart, they know the ropes, and they don't need treatment. But it is wrong. And Emmanuel clarifies that very clearly. He leaves that clear, that what happens is that pride comes in the way. Because if you believe you are being helped in that sense, just because you are helping the others with your expertise, you are wrong. You need help also. And in that, for that to happen, you need somebody else to do for you. So this lady is a psychologist and a spirit and mystic therapist who works with past life therapy and other things. But she went to J.S. Godinho for treatment, and she admitted the problems, and she wanted to know what was going on. And she wanted to do the inner reform, to cleanse herself somehow. And it was great on her part. So what are her complaints? Cold relationship. Then, insecurity in what she wants to do. And she said that during many nights, she wakes up in the middle of the night and doesn't sleep anymore, hammering the same subject that sometimes goes for over 24 hours on the same thing. And she knows that deep inside, the most important thing of the subject is afraid of taking risks, insecure with that, and kind of misjudging herself or something. And she complained about that, and she wanted to know if it had something to do with this cold relationship. And what else? always afraid of taking risks. She went there. But what I want to tell you before we start with the case today is that husband and wife, so far, until that treatment, that psychic capture session, they did not know the reasons behind the scenes of their case. They had no clue. We sometimes don't know things about ourselves. We sometimes know better about the others, but when it comes for us, not always we are smart. Never forget that. It is also called humility. Because if you are not humble enough to admit it, we don't do anything for us. We skip, believing that we don't need, we need. Okay, but after the treatment, even as friends with care for each other, they started understanding what was behind causing, what was the problem that caused those things, and all the reasons. So their lives became much, much better. Let's say that it was a married as great friends. Because at the end, married is that. You may get married for love and are passionate with the other, but there will be a time, if you are a great friend of your companion, that's the best married. This friendship, one trust in the other, this great friendship, that's the best married. Voluntary tests. In the beginning, it was only that. Now let's see what it says. Those who accept their sufferings with resignation, with submission to the will of God, and aiming their future happiness, do not work other than to themselves and can make their sufferings helpful to others. That's fine, you don't need to go on. That meant something to you, and the patient said, yes, I understood. It is for me. He said, can we start now? More disgrace in my life? No. Oh, yes. Are you very disgraced? Everything happens to me. Everything. I lost family. I lost money. The others make fun of me. And look at what I became. And what? You become what? I became poor. This name, poor, was strong. And why did you lose your money? You managed it bad. That was a storm weather also. It was a storm weather also. I risked. That was also a behavioral problem. You risked in what? I thought I would not like to talk about that. You should talk. In this way, your physical conscience, which means the patient, will understand everything. Change was a smuggling. He invested in a smuggling and was not successful. Business of willing to making money easily is complicated. Let's go ahead. How did you end this life, that lifetime? Very poor, on the streets. How was that? The women who were around me left me because they were with me because of money. And I end up in a small
única coisa que me
store.
sobrou,
The
se
only
juntar os
thing that
outros, olha.
rested to me, the only thing that I could get
Não tinha nenhum
by
empregado,
I
eu
did
tinha que
not
fazer
even
tudo.
have an employee. I had to do everything.
Ruim situação.
Go ahead on time.
Avance no tempo.
And what
E teus
about your
familiares,
family?
Não sobrou ninguém? Você tinha perdido família?
You
Por
said
que
you
as
lost
perderam?
family. Why did you lose your family?
Morreram?
They died? One of them died.
E
What
os
about the
demais?
others? The others,
não
I did not
gostava.
like them.
Eu tinha ido
They
embora.
had
É?
gone.
Você era
Were you a
homem
man
ou uma
or a
mulher?
woman?
Homem.
Man,
É?
of course, or a woman. You
Me diz
married.
uma coisa, você era casado?
I did not want anyone
Né?
Não queria ninguém
bothering
atrapalhando
my
comigo.
way.
Mulher era só
It
quando
was
eu queria passar a
only
noite
when
lá,
I
tava bom.
needed
Chega.
them.
É?
And in the morning, I asked
Então,
them
era
to
homem
leave. So he
meio
was a man
descompromissado
without
com o amor,
commitment
né?
to love. He wanted to be alone. And now I have to search
Puxar a vida dela.
your life. How's your
Como que é a tua vida
relationship
afetiva hoje?
with your husband, affection and love? We don't get along so well. We don't even speak. We are together for more than 30 years.
Estamos juntos.
And we don't have anything. We don't talk. We live in separate bedrooms. Together
Juntos, mas
but separated.
separados.
In different bedrooms.
Perfeito. Então,
So
é
it is
muito da
of her
natureza
nature.
dela, isso. A mulher
Like
é
he
de vez em
was
quando,
in the
quando
past.
com
Women,
carência tava
only
muito
when I
grande,
was
né?
in
Ela
need
podia
for
mandar
them.
embora.
And in the morning,
Então,
I ask them to leave.
automaticamente essa vibração está
Automatically,
nela ainda. Então, ela
this
fica meio
vibration
separada.
is
Ela gosta
in her.
mais de
You
ficar
carry
sozinha.
that. She likes more to be alone. Yes, I like that.
E o que mais?
What else? What is your
O que
job
você
now?
trabalha hoje, Ceci?
I am psychologist and a therapist.
É?
He is referring to many cases of therapists
É só
now
olhar pra trás,
that
porcaria
in the
que fez, vai
past
virar
did a lot of
terapeuta.
wrongdoings. And basically, one of the ways to redo it, to make it better, is by helping others. Very well.
Muito
And
bem,
what
e o que
else would
mais
you
que
like
você
to
gostaria de
talk
falar?
about?
Ou que você está inconformado?
Or that you are not happy with?
Até aqui vocês
You are
rindo.
here laughing at me, not about you.
Aqui
We
nós
are
estamos
laughing at
rindo de nós
ourselves.
mesmos,
We
né,
are
de vocês.
all the same.
Porque
We have
aqui
done
são
all the
seus
things you did.
colegas.
We are your
Todos
colleagues.
fizeram mais
All
ou
of
menos
us
as mesmas
have
coisas.
more or less done the same thing. What
mais
else you
quer
want to
falar?
talk?
Né?
You don't
Vamos
like to
conversar.
talk.
É?
Are you
Você é meio
like
quieta, gosta de ficar no seu canto, sem
left
falar
alone?
muito.
Did you
É.
come into this
Você
lifetime
escolheu vir
to
para
make
essa
it
vida
better, to
nessas
live,
condições para
to
tentar
resolve
se
that
aprimorar
and
pouco,
leave
para
that
sair daquela
situation
condição?
behind? I don't know.
Não sei, não.
This is a
Sabe, vamos
work
lembrar?
that can be done.
Isso é um
Make the
trabalho que pode
personality
ser feito,
go
né?
back
Fazer lembrar
to
o
the
que
time
prometeu
it
antes de reencarnar.
signed
Vamos
the
ver se no caso
contract
dela é possível.
of
Volta no tempo
incarnation.
e
And
lembre até o
remember
momento em que
what
você assinou o
was the
contrato
program of
encarnatório.
incarnation set.
Não parecia tão
Well,
fácil.
everything seemed to be so easy.
Toda
Every
na
theory
prática
in
é
practice is something else. And what about this person
E essa pessoa que
who
está
was
com
with
você,
you,
quem
who
foi
is
ele?
with you right now? Who was he?
Foi o meu ex-sócio.
He was
mandou eu não
my
fazer
former partner who asked me not
Mandou se
to
não aplicar dinheiro em
invest
contrabando?
in smuggling.
Aí
Yes.
pegou o dele. E eu
So he
peguei
did
o
not
dela.
agree. He took his money
E
and
depois,
left, and I took
não
mine and did what I
comercializou essa
did.
mercadoria?
Não, porque eu
Did
já
you
falei que eu
not
perdi.
make it bigger?
Ah,
I've
teu
already
ex-sócio?
said I lost it.
Ele
It
pegou
was
o dinheiro
your
dele.
former partner. He took
foi embora,
his
porque disse que não queria
money
fazer contrabando.
and left
Mas eu
because
falei que
he
era um
said
grande
he did
negócio,
not
e era pra ter
want
sido.
to get
Se
involved
não
with
fosse aquela
smuggling.
tempestade.
But I told
aconteceu
him
com a
it was a
tempestade?
great deal,
Fiz
a
perder
great
toda a mercadoria.
É?
thing to do.
Mas os meus planos eram bons.
To have been
Teria ficado muito
very
rico se tivesse
rich.
dado certo.
É. Você,
Who likes to do
então, tem um lado
adventures, like
ambicioso,
adventurer
um lado
side,
aventureiro
a
que
side that
arrisca, né?
takes risk.
Não sei, eu sei
In
se
other
tem
words,
isso na sua vida
You were
hoje.
afraid of that
Mas ele ficou
experience.
vacinado.
I believe so because I'm
É.
afraid of taking
E
risks.
tem medo
Are
de
you
que
afraid
algo
of
de ruim
something
aconteça? Tem
bad
que ter essa,
might happen
essa
to you?
insegurança
Yes,
que
I'm
alguma
secure.
coisa ruim
I have
pode
that.
acontecer e ficar
Always
sem dinheiro.
afraid that you lose money. Well, my husband is
Ele já era lá no passado.
knows how to control well.
É,
But
você
your
voltou pra
husband at
aprender
that
com ele.
time
Então,
had
aí
that.
que a gente precisa entender
Well,
que,
you
qual é a
came back to
finalidade do
learn
casamento. No
with
caso
him.
dela,
In
ela
her
precisava aprender
case,
pouco
she
mais com o
needed
sócio. Então,
to
voltou
learn a
se
little bit
associar
more
novamente
with
pra aprender
her
pouco mais
partner.
com o
Back
sujeito.
with him in order to learn
Não é
something,
casamento
to
por
control
afeto,
herself.
casamento
It's not a
escola,
marriage
aprendizado.
based
Ele é o
on
professor
love,
dela.
on affection. It is a marriage based on
Você
school.
concorda que é
Do you
assim?
understand it is that way? Yeah,
Concordo.
well, yeah,
Assim,
I agree.
Muito má
Not so
vontade,
well,
mas
but
concorda.
he agrees, she agrees. Are you
Muito
better?
bem.
You
Ficou mais
cannot
tranquila?
ask
Então não
what
pode
he doesn't
cobrar
have
dele,
to
nem
offer you.
esperar dele aquilo que não
He's
tem para
only
te
your
oferecer. É só ser
teacher.
professor.
To help you in your
E
case.
talvez
And
abrir
maybe
mão de algum
he
sonho
gave
dele
up
para vir te ensinar pouquinho
some of
mais
his
de
dream
cuidar
to
da sua
teach
vida.
you how
Pode
to
ser
take
isso?
care of yourself.
Será que
You
ele vai
think
fazer
it
isso?
can
Não
be?
sei.
I don't know. Let's see.
Veja.
See
Por que ele
yourself.
casou com você?
Why did
Essas
he
coisas são
marry
muito
you?
interessantes
These
que foram
kind of things
passadas.
from
Duas
past are
pessoas que já se
interesting.
conheceram, já
Two
tiveram
people
ligado com uma
that
ligação comercial, ou foram
met
amigos,
before or were
se
friends
encontram,
or
e já diz
involved
que
in
amor à
a
primeira vez, nem
commerce
sabe
or
qual é o
something before
significado do
meet
sentimento.
this
O
time.
sentimento
They
está
believe
ocorrendo
when
ali.
they see each
Há
other
uma
there is a kind of
ligação,
shock,
mas não quer dizer
but they
que uma
believe it is
ligação
love
de
at the
amor,
first
né?
glance, but they don't even know.
Pode ser uma amizade,
And that's
ou
the
até
risk of getting
uma
married. They
cumplicidade,
don't know
qualquer
what
coisa,
feeling
né?
is going on right
E
there,
aí depois
but they
casa
believe it
e a
is
vida
love. It
fica
doesn't
meio
mean
esquisita.
it is a loving
Fica
connection.
monótono,
It
sem
can be a
graça, porque na realidade
friendship,
não
and they
era
get
aquilo.
married, and life becomes like monotonous.
Ele não
He
foi
was
tão
not
bonzinho
that
assim que
very
vocês estão
good the way
falando.
you are
Nós não
saying.
estamos
We are
falando
not
nada,
talking
você que
about
tá
anything.
contando.
You are affirming that. What
O
did
que
he
ele
do?
fez?
He
Ele não
did
deixa
not
fazer nada.
let me do anything.
É?
Anything. Only
Nada.
Aí,
to
Mulher é
work
só
at
pra
home.
trabalhar em casa,
Nothing
ele fala.
more. He did not
Mulher é só
let
pra
me
trabalhar em
learn.
casa.
He did
Bom,
not
então
let me go out. He did not let me to do
Sair, não deixava
anything.
fazer nada.
He
Ainda
still
continua assim?
does that.
Então veja bem,
Now it's
agora
the
mudou a
configuration has
configuração.
changed.
Ele é professor
He
dela
is
de economia, de
her
cuidado com os
teacher to
negócios.
teach her the
e ela é
way
professora
she
dele para mudar a opinião
should
sobre
take care of
mulher.
her own business.
Então,
And
um
she
dá aula
is
pro outro. Como é que vão se
his
entender
teacher
afetivamente?
to help him understand women. It is quite hard in your case to understand each other with affection.
E também
Basically,
normalmente casais assim não se
Couples
separam.
like that do
Vão
not
até o fim
separate.
juntos.
One
É,
does not stay
um
without
fica
the
sem o
other.
outro. Como vai ficar seu
Like a personal trainer. I think that the spiritual part he understood with me, because he did not want that. He did not want me to do that. Now he understands. I can do a prophecy right now. In the next incarnation, they will fall in love with each other. They are getting prepared for that. I want that to happen now. This lifetime difficult to happen. Can you understand that things are not that bad? I can. See if there is some kind of flame, something inside your heart. Don't think so. Yes or no?
Já está ou não?
Maybe.
Talvez.
Not so strong, but maybe. And the expression has changed completely. It's interesting the way we build things. I have no doubt from now on, the two of you will understand each other better. Now you understand the reason why you are together, the goal of this marriage, the meaning of this marriage. It's common, like people who are friends, they agree to come into a new incarnation as married to help one another. And then when they are incarnated together, one has something, a defect, let's say, that the other does not accept, and so forth. And they fight for that. Well, we don't even fight, because we don't speak to each other. There is no way to fight. It is interesting. They do not talk to each other, they do not fight against each other, but they do not get separated. It is very clear the spiritual commitment between the two of you. It's change of attitude, behave. Are you okay? Yes. Ask him if he also needs to come here to talk to us.
Acho que não.
Não? Ele já sabe
Does he know
exatamente o que está
exactly
fazendo?
what is happening? The reason why he is in
Por que
this
está nessa
relationship?
relação?
Now
Agora
he
ele
understands,
entendeu.
but before he did not know. Did he
Ele
hear
ficou
everything we
bisbilhotando aqui a
spoke
nossa
about,
conversa?
listening to everything we were saying? Don't you think I know that he's always around, even
Fica
when I leave?
controlando a vida dela,
He
tanto que
controls
estava
your
aqui
life. He
observando
was
a
right
conversa.
here observing everything. They
Não
don't
se
talk, but
falam,
one
mas
is
não sai do
attached
pé, né?
to other. Not me, him.
É, ela não.
No.
Vamos
Let's
explicar
explain
esse
that.
negócio direito.
Pode ver. Pode ver, pode ver.
And that's
ele,
he,
né?
right?
Lógico.
Logic. Sister Teresa
falou para nós
spoke to us
negócio uma vez.
about something.
Nós
We were
atendíamos
helping a
um
former
ex-casal,
a
e o
couple
sujeito não saía
and he
do pé
was
da
always
ex-mulher. Ela não queria ver ele
trying
nem
to
com
control
trator.
her somehow.
Aí,
Why does that
Nós
happen?
fomos perguntar para a irmã
She
Teresa,
doesn't
por
want
que
to get close
que
to
ocorrem
think about
essas
him.
coisas? Estão
And
separados
they
há anos,
are
ela não
separated
quer
for a
saber
long
dele e ele
time.
não larga
Sister
do pé
Teresa
dela.
is the
Daí a
mentor
irmã Teresa
of
disse, quando
Godinho.
um
She
não
said,
sai do pé
when
do
one
outro, é porque
is
o outro está
controlling
segurando
the
o pé
other,
do um.
the other is controlling
Aí
the
nós
one.
fomos fuçar
Then we
isso,
went
né? Porque nós
after
queremos saber
to
tudo.
find if it was that.
Então,
And it
por que que o
was.
senhor não está vigiando
Why
ela por
is
perto,
he
tá
always
sempre por perto,
around her?
controlando?
Tell
Coloque
us
quando você
very
está
clearly this story. If
Se
he
ele me
controls
controla,
me, if it is
porque
because he
tem
thinks of
ciúme, né?
me. That's
É?
why I like. But
isso
I
que eu
don't
gosto
like to
também,
say it
mas
to
eu não posso
anyone,
falar pra
to
ninguém
anyone
isso.
because
Mulheres
women
não gostam de ser
don't
controlada.
like to have
É?
their husband controlling them.
Mas
But
você
you like
gosta.
that, don't you?
Desde que não
As long
interfira
as
muito no que eu
it
faço.
doesn't interfere with what I do. A
pouquinho.
little.
Eu acho
I think
que
the
o problema é
problem
que
is
você não
that
quer,
you don't want to
encaminhar a mercadoria.
leave him.
Ou não é verdade?
You
Ele?
like
É,
that.
você não larga do ossinho lá, não.
Não largo
I will
mesmo.
not.
É assim.
The thing between the two of you is
É recíproco o
reciprocal.
negócio. Né? Então isso aqui
So it
cai
comes to
naquela
that
lei
law
que
that
diz, o
says
que
what
Deus
God
uniu, o
put
homem não
together,
separa.
men do not separate.
Tudo bem?
Is everything fine? Yeah.
Ele
Can
pode
he
seguir
go
com
with
você
you
pra
to
ele
work
conversar
with
com as autoridades
the
maiores?
mentors?
Pode?
He says
que
he
pode.
can.
Pode. Então tá bom.
So,
Agradece
thank
ao Mestre
God,
Jesus por
thank
esse
Jesus
entendimento,
for
que isso é
this.
muito importante.
And then
Vai,
you
pode
go
seguir com os
together with
amigos.
him.
Obrigado
Thanks for
pela
the
colaboração.
collaboration.
Perguntas ou
Doubts?
dúvidas?
She would like to understand why sometimes he wakes up during the night and keeps thinking about something, things that she sometimes thinks for 24 hours without stopping, things that bother me, and I don't know how to
Então
resolve.
fica imaginando
Try
o
to
seguinte,
imagine
lá no passado,
that in the past
você insistiu
you
para fazer
insisted
negócio que
in
ele era
doing
contrário.
something
Você
that
fez,
he was
foi embora,
against
você
that,
perdeu o
and
sócio,
you
e
did
ainda
on your
você se dá
own.
mal.
Because of that decision,
Quantos anos
you lost
ficou
your
pensando em cima
partner,
daquilo, ruminando em cima
your
daquilo?
business were astray with the storm.
Quantas
How
noites
many
sono deve
nights
ter perdido
you
lá?
lost?
Então agora
Right
você
now
tá em
you are in
plena
a
ressonância
plenty
com aquela
resonance with
encarnação.
that incarnation.
Aí dá para entender.
Tá, então isso deve
Might
provocar
provoke,
desgosto, irritação,
sadness,
insônia,
irritation,
inquietação, às vezes fica com
resentment
raiva
against
dele,
yourself, insomnia.
demais.
Maybe you
né?
blame
Então,
him
você
for
vai
what
ficar com a
happened
obrigação
to you.
daqui
Now
mês
you
me
are
dar
obliged to come back in 1
testemunho.
month to give me testimony
Pra ver
of
se a
what
coisa
happened to you,
mudou ou
because
não
everything
mudou.
will work out for
Porque
you. Your symptoms,
os
the
sintomas
things you are
dela
describing
se
right now,
justificam plenamente pelo
are
que ocorreu, pelas
exactly
informações
the
que
same
foram
things
trazidas
that
aqui.
were described by your
Tá em
personality
ressonância
of
com o
that
passado,
lifetime.
estava
You
naquela
were in
vida
total resonance with
né?
that lifetime.
Acho que monetariamente, acho que eu não aprendi ainda, porque eu não gosto de lidar com dinheiro. Mas
Mas não pode
You don't like
começar a se acostumar,
to
porque
deal with money, but you
o
need
dinheiro bem
to
administrado, ele é uma
get
bênção,
used to
é uma
it,
criação
because
divina
when
também.
money is
Tanto que
well
no nosso
managed,
lar, no
it is
astral, tem
great.
uma
It is
espécie de
a blessing.
morada lá.